It's just a little bit of effort. Run, play some hard defense, get on the boards. It's that simple.
Right.
Effort. I mean, and that's why a guy like Nesmith, we're kind of scratching our heads as to why it took this long to get him out there, because that's literally the only thing that you can count on he's going to give you every time he plays. He's going to give great effort. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to be out of position sometimes. He's going to do things that are going to make you just want to kind of scratch your eyeballs out, but the effort is going to be great. And what we're seeing now is the more he plays, the more refined a lot of those mistakes are becoming, to where they're not happening as frequently as they were before. He did so, and you know what? The thing, and this was something I can't remember whether it was Doc or Tommy used to tell me this, but when you work hard, the basketball guys will reward you. And how many times did we see Nesmith just literally the ball landing in his hands just because he's just making great effort?
I thought the play of the game. I thought the play of the game was when he won that jump ball on the far end on defense, sprinted down the floor and got to the other basket. I think Brown threw Tatum that long outlet pass. It fell out of Tatum's hand and right into Nesmith for the finish. I think that tied the game before Tatum ended up tying it again. He was just everywhere in this game. Incredible closing effort, all over the boards again. Big threes in the second half, another big shot in overtime, big mid-range shot. He's just arrived. It's incredible.
The expression you're looking for, Sherrod, ball finds energy, and I think that's what he's one of those guys, right? Where that's the only thing he had going for him in the early going. Now he's got that plus a little bit of know-how and a little bit of wherewithal, where he's in the right place at the right time. His overall spacing is better. He's not like standing right next to a guy, with the ball and like, dude, like I said, it's like watching watching my daughter's soccer team play, and they're like pass, and I'm like, you're 1 foot away from me. That
was the play of the night. It was probably like the 35th best play of the night. But I love when he put DeRozan on the ground with that hard foul early. Like that was using it. He had 5 fouls in this one, and they were all really good fouls, physical, strong, preventing guys from getting baskets. Now, DeRozan was a problem into the final minutes in this one, getting to the line like 18 times. But
that's his game, though.
Yeah, I thought the Celtics just imposed a good physical will in that second half. I mean, the Spurs shot like 12 of 26 in that second half. They were just completely shut down aside from some of the fouls.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you guys – the thing about Nesmith is the only thing we heard of – because let's be honest, nobody watched Aaron Nesmith in college at Vanderbilt. Like, we can all just say that. I mean, you can turn on a YouTube clip or whatever. You're not getting these types of hustle plays primarily.
Jimmy's all about the YouTube clips.
The one thing – well, that's how I scout my players, so YouTube highlight reels. The one thing we can say about Nesmith now is that he's not just a shooter, right? I mean, if anything – that's the one thing that hasn't really stood out from about his game. I mean, he's hit a few shots lately, but it's the hustle plays. It's like just the doing whatever it takes to stay on the court. Sometimes for better or for worse with the hustle plays. Sometimes he is kind of running around like a chicken with his head cut off. But more so lately, he's doing it with a purpose. He seems to be more in the right place, like you guys talked about, not just on offense but on defense too. And he's there like at the rim, like putting baskets back up after misses or loose balls, or he just happens to be in the right place in the right time. So there's definitely a value to having that on the team, and I think he is providing a lot of energy, and I think he was a big reason for that second half comeback. Obviously, I mean, clearly Tatum was the guy, but like Bobby said, you need that supporting cast in there, and I thought with Jaylen Brown kind of cold tonight, even though he hit that monster three-pointer in the corner, it was good to have a guy like Nesmith sort of step up, and we've been looking for it all year. Players from the second unit not stepping up and not they're just completely invisible from, it doesn't matter what part of the game, doesn't matter what their role is on any given night. Brad's consistently, rotating bench guys in and out depending on the game because he has never had a consistent player to step up. It feels like Nesmith, I don't want to like exaggerate, but it just feels like Nesmith's sort of rising to the top of that bench crew there.
Yeah, energy with impact. I mean, that's the one thing that he delivered. I think other guys, they try to play hard, but they don't make an impact when they're out there with that second unit. Nesmith has found he's found, the secret sauce to playing hard and making an impact, and that is you do it every damn second that you're on the floor. You don't just do it when you're on offense and the ball may wind up in your hands. You don't do it just on defense, assuming that when you get on offense, they're not going to look for you at all. You do it every second that you're out there on the floor. And he is starting to not only, I think, figure that out more consistently, but he's getting the opportunities. Because my fear going into this game was that Brad would overthink the process and think well, I got great play out of Nesmith, and maybe I need to go in a different direction and come back to him later.
Let's try out Grant again. Yeah.
That's what history tells us, right?
That's what we talked about at the end of last game. We were all afraid of it. Yeah.
I mean, for me,
Brad kept it simple, went with the guy who last we checked was your best energy off the bench. Give him another shot, see what he can do, and he came through.
Yeah, for me, it was everything you just said about Nesmith's game, of him giving it 100% every single possession, every single play, whether it was on defense or offense. But also, he was locked in. You could see it. We made jokes before about it seemed like he was a little lost on offense sometimes. Not quite sure where he needed to be. And this time it was different. It was like he was locked in because, again, he got the reps that he needed. Not just one game, but the games before that, the ones that led to this opportunity. Zanis and I were like just going crazy. Zanis more than me a few months ago saying, just play him. Let's just see what happens, But I think for the most part, what you meant by that, John, was get his reps in. What's the
let him work out that stuff early.
Whose growth are you stunting by not doing this? What's the alternative?
And that's where the argument was, not to relitigate the whole thing, but, when we were going back and forth with Bobby on this was, the other guys are playing better, or they're more reliable. And there was no arguing that. You knew that then. You know what you're getting out of Semi. Reasonable defense.
He was really bad early. It was borderline unplayable.
But he was, but we knew that we were conceding that he was borderline unplayable, but there's no way you're going to. You wanted to recognize or actualize, whatever ceiling was there. But it is interesting not only that it's working now, and it's a really cool development because it may really have implications leading into the stretch run in the playoffs here. But other thing is, we talked about Brad making choices and trying to stick with them. The last two games, he's made choices, and those choices don't involve Semi Ojeleye. They don't involve Romeo Langford. They don't involve
get rid of them all.
They don't involve Jabari Parker. They do not involve
Grant Williams.
No offense, Bobby. Cornette, when you have the two healthy centers, is the odd man out, though I actually do agree with you. You could find minutes for him here and there. What I'm saying is I don't think he's in the doghouse. I just think he's the odd man out. I think the others are.
That a couple weeks ago. I needed you.
I think the others are more of we're done with you guys right now. And then Grant got 9 minutes after 1 minute the other day, so he's kind of fighting for stuff there too. I think what you're seeing here might be what you're seeing for the rest of the way. And Nesmith now,
it better be.
Nesmith in almost no time shot into that little circle of trust now. I mean, he's out. He got more minutes than Pritchard on a night that Kemba was out. That's a big deal. Now you're looking at
he closed the game.
He played the whole fourth and overtime pretty much. I mean, he's.
Brad was just, finally, Brad was like, you know what? I'm sticking with the guys that are winning us this game or bringing us back in this game. We didn't get the token, substitution where it's like, get Jaylen Brown or get Tatum back in the game. What is this lineup right now? Nobody was like, what is this lineup right now? Everyone was exactly that. These are the players that we want to see out there. And Brad stuck with it. He didn't overthink it. He's like, you know what? We're either going to win or lose with these guys because they're the five guys that brought us all the way back into this game. We're just going to stick it out as long as we can. He made a couple substitutions like Fournier, Rob, and those things. But generally speaking, it was the same core.
And just completely random, but still worth noting because we absolutely rip him a new one every game. Grant Williams played less than 10 minutes and was extremely effective. Playing less than 10 minutes. I thought his minutes were absolutely right? Perfect. This was the perfect Grant Williams
Come on,
game.
Guys. Come on. Let's just say it, guys. I think more than a couple of players, they watch the show, right? They watch the show. That's what it is.
Draymond Water's helping a little bit, too.
What did we say about Grant? The problem with
he plays too much.
Is too much.
You said 10 to 12. I think your ceiling was 12 minutes. That's it.
He played 9. He played 9.
That's fine. Boom. But when you're counting on it on those games where he plays 23 minutes, I think that's what drives the viewers crazy. They're like, too much Grant, man. I can't see him. It really is the amount. It's not his existence Of course you can have guys. Every team has guys that come in
option.
and play 6, 8, 9, 10 minutes, you know?
Again, if I asked you guys a week and a day ago, Thursday, the day they were practicing before that Nets game where he went out and grabbed 8 rebounds, and I said, you think Nesmith could emerge here? I don't think any of us would have said, yeah. There were no signs whatsoever before that Friday game against the Nets where he came in and grabbed all those boards that he was going to turn it around here. I think we all just kind of assumed this was going to be a lost season for him. So you're just looking at all those different guys, and I guess you could say you were always going to rotate back to Nesmith because Grant wasn't getting it done. Semi, Romeo, certainly. That weekend of them starting was just a disaster. But there were no this wasn't gradual progress. Like we saw the hustle plays, but we said it's hustle going to nowhere. He was just kind of out of control. Somehow, some way, this last week and a half, he put it together.
Brad wanted something different because you saw how quickly he gave Romeo a crack, right? Coming right off of the COVID situation, it was obvious Brad was looking for something else, and he was desperate to try to give it to someone. He tried to hand that opportunity to Romeo. You got some stuff out of it, and then it went south. Focus, effort, not aggressive enough, and he turned back to Nesmith. I kind of joked about it, like, you know, that Nesmith just buried Romeo on his way to, and it's kind of what happened. But I think it speaks to Brad's mentality of like, I want to see one of these guys step up and take it. This stuff we were saying all year. Their ceiling is higher. You can get to a better place if you're able to get something from these guys who have just more talent than the other players who had been playing, who are really just warm bodies at this point. Too many of those guys. Huge imbalance between two friggin' top 20 superstars out there with guys who are barely clinging to an NBA roster.
You done with Romeo?
No, but Romeo right now, like, it's the same thing that Nesmith. He got his shot. He didn't make the most of it. You know, Nesmith, as you said, was energy but no production. Romeo's just kind of in and out. I'm not done. I still think there's
right. That doesn't mean he's toast for the rest of the way. Like,
well,
he'll find a way to get.
He's gonna have to do it the same way that Nesmith has done, and that is you take whatever minutes you get, you play your ass off, you force the coach to keep you out there.
Yeah,
it's that simple. I mean, that'll do it.
Yeah,
that's how it works.